In one of my previous videos, I decided to rate the most racist factions in the game Kenshi, but it turns out you guys should have been #1 on the racist tier list, because the most liked comment was to make a Kenshi slur tier list. So buckle up, Flatskins, because in today's video, we'll be ranking slurs in Kenshi from best to worst. Let's start with one of my favorite Kenshi slurs, Hiveless. This term in Kenshi is usually used by hivers, a race of bug people controlled by the Hive Queen. There are two variations of this slur, No Hive and the one I mentioned, Hiveless. No Hive is usually what the Hive call other races who don't belong to the Hive race. However, for special Hive Queen leavers who do belong to the Hive race, like our insect friend Beep, they get the term Hiveless. Now the way I'd use Hiveless as a slur would be in a comeback type of way, kinda like maidenless or saying somebody got no bitches. Imagine this, you're barbecuing for your fellow Scorchlanders at a cookout. It's a Scorchlander only party, but your friend Jasmine wants to invite this asshole Greenlander named Jerry. So against your better judgment, you invite him to the cookout. After accidentally making eye contact with Jerry, he comes up to you and remarks that your food cubes are oversalted and undercooked. Normally, you wouldn't whip this one out, but you don't like Jerry, and we all know you don't insult a Scorchlander's barbecuing skills. So you respond, maybe if you got rid of your old yee ass haircut, you get some bitches on your dick, Jerry. Or better yet, maybe Tanisha call your dog ass if she ever stopped fucking with that Holy Nation soldier she be fucking with, Hiveless. Bam. Jerry takes -100 aura damage and he's immediately left on the floor cradling the last bit of dignity that he had. Because of the amazing potential of how you can use the word Hiveless, I'm gonna rate this as an S tier slur. There are many other examples, but I'll leave those up to your imagination. Let's move on to our second slur. This time we'll cover a slur towards all the Hive rather than just the Hiveless section, Twigman. This is a slur that is often used by the United Heroes League towards the Hivers. If you aren't familiar with the United Heroes League, they are the most racist bullies that Kenshi has ever produced. Arguably, more racist than the Holy Nation themselves. Because they are so racist, they have to be creative with their words, or else it just gets boring. So their NPCs have randomly generated dialogue, and you can end up with a ton of random Kenshi slurs like Bug Seductress or Flabby Feet Fucker, but for this section, we're just gonna be covering Twigman. Twigman is a bit too racist for me, so this isn't a term that I'd use casually. I'd personally leave this one for the global elite racists to use. I feel like that if the most racist faction in Kenshi refer to people as Twigman, then I probably shouldn't be saying it. Actually, from here on out, I won't be saying I'm starting to realize how offensive saying is. This is one of those slurs that if you say, everyone in the room is going to turn and look at you in shock. Because of how outdated the word is, we are going to rate this as a C tier slur. It's effective, but just a little too effective. The next one on the list is the term meatbag. I couldn't exactly find where the origin of this one's from, but it's a derogatory term that is normally used towards humans. From my understanding, anyone from the Shek to skeletons to hivers can all use this term. Now personally, I love the term meatbag. It's right in the middle where it's not too offensive, but it's still pretty damn usable. I like to use the term meatbag to describe someone who's committing gluttonous behavior. Imagine this. You have all your friends over and you're making dustwood sandwiches. You order 40 dustwood sandwiches and there's 10 people who end up coming to the party, which means that each person gets 4 dustwood sandwiches. But your friend Miles has other plans in mind. He eats all 4 of his sandwiches, and as you're finishing up your 3rd sandwich, you notice there's only 1 sandwich left. Before even asking anyone have they finished all 4 of theirs, he grabs his 5th dustwood sandwich. In an angry rage, you respond, "Damn, meatbag, you couldn't even let me have my last sandwich?" Miles immediately drops his sandwich and becomes humiliated. But at this point, you don't even want the damn sandwich anymore. You just wanted to call him a meatbag. And let's all be honest with ourselves. He was kinda being a meatbag, so he kinda deserved it. But what I love about the term meatbag is that it can be used in any manner. It's not too offensive to the point where you can get canceled for it, but it's effective and straight to the point. Because of this, I'm rating meatbag as an A tier slur. The next slur on the list is Flabby Feet. The origin of this one comes from humans burning their feet off to silly things like acid rain or giant death beams raining from the sky. But technically, Flabby Feet can also be applied to the Shek as well, since they will suffer the same burning fate. Because races like the skeletons and the hivers are fully immune to these dangerous weather effects, there's no need for them to wear shoes. So they call any shoe wearers Flabby Feet, because their skin's always flabbing off when the acid burns it. Flabby Feet is more of a chill slur in my opinion. The way I see it, Flabby Feet is just another word for like nasty ass. So you can say, damn bitch, you got some nasty ass feet, or damn, your feet looking hella flabby today. The term Flabby Feet on its own isn't really too strong, but the power of the word really comes from its derivative, flabby. If someone can have flabby feet, why can't they have flabby hands, or flabby legs, or even flabby pussy? Now hear me out. Jeremiah is meeting up with a nice Holy Nation woman from okronmingle.com. She tells him that she has a nice storm house and he can come over anytime. As Jeremiah walks through the storm house door, he finds Natasha waiting there all oiled up for him, but he can smell her flabby ass pussy from a mile away. Immediately, he runs out the door and changes his Holy Nation Mingle bio to, if your thing is flabby, you ain't calling me daddy. Because flabby can be overused, we're gonna call this a B tier slur. It's still a really good one, but it's so usable that it's not really that special when you whip it out at your next work event. Speaking of Jeremiah and his tragic story with the Holy Nation woman, this brings us to our next slur on the tier list, woman. Now at first glance, you might not think this one is really a slur, but have you seen the way those Holy Nation soldiers use it? If it wasn't a slur, they definitely made it one. They use seductress woman, corrupted woman, blackened woman. It's absolutely insane. The Holy Nation happens to be especially gifted in making Kenshi slurs, because not only are they racist, but they're sexist too. In the Holy Nation, women cannot be alone without having a male recruit. They're also considered seductresses just for living, and one of the worst possible things, if you ask me, is if you have a settlement of all human women near the Holy Nation, they'll burn you to the ground and kill you. This is insane because this is the same treatment that they have towards the Shek and the Skeletons and any other race that they claim are narco spawn. Imagine this, you walk into a nearby Holy Nation hospital. Your doctor is, well, a woman. So you already know what's gonna happen. She performs surgery on you and you're completely fine, and better yet, you're probably the best you've ever felt in your life. Wait, did you seriously think I was gonna give you an example of me using woman as a slur? Dude, come on. Get some help. Woman is going to be rated D on our tier list. This one used to be funny years ago, but I feel like even for the Holy Nation soldiers, it's a bit outdated. Our next one on the list is Blackened One. This one's brought to you by our #1 slur producer in Kenshi, the Holy Nation. The Holy Nation has an absolute obsession with calling things darkened and blackened and darkness and all other types of shit. The reason being is that there's two sides of the Okronite religion, good and evil, light and dark, with light being Okron and dark being narco. It is said that anyone who's not born a male human is considered a spawn of narco, otherwise known as an agent of darkness. The Holy Nation has a ton of crazy things that they call narco spawns, but we're gonna stick with Blackened One specifically. When I first heard this one, I thought that it applied to Scorchlanders like myself, but it turns out Greenlanders and Scorchlanders live in harmony in Kenshi, which I found very surprising. But enough history, let's get to the ranking. Blackened One is an extremely racist term to use in my opinion, especially since it comes from religious context. So I'm gonna be ranking this one as a C up there with Twigman. Ah shit, not Twigman, I meant We are more than halfway through our Kenshi slurs, and I want to say, if you've been enjoying the video so far, please make sure to drop a like. I loved making this video and I hope I made you guys laugh so far, but let's continue on our tier list. Now that we got most of our shitty slurs out the way, let's move on to some of our strongest Kenshi slurs that you guys have been waiting for. Starting back strong, we're coming in hot with flat-skinned. The term originates from Shek calling any human a flat skin. Unlike humans, the Shek have horns and other things that grow out of their skin. To this day, it's still up in the air for what those horns are used for, if you get what I'm saying. But we won't be covering any Shek anatomy in this video. We'll be focused on more important things like the best slurs to use. The reason I love the term flat skin so much is because anyone can be called a flat skin, and it's not really an issue. I'm a flat skin, you're a flat skin. I mean, come on dude, my best friend is a flat— oh wait, maybe not that guy. But overall, I'm giving flat skin an A tier rating. This one's good because you can catch people off guard with it. Yo, what up my flat skin? How you doing, brother? Oh, nothing, I'm good. Me and a couple flat skins trying to hit up the bar later. You down to join? Oh, you know it. I'll see you later. Flatkin is so usable that it's perfect. It started off as kind of a hateful, derogatory term towards humans, but we Flatskins took it back. And now it's honestly one of my favorites to use, as long as any non-Flatskins aren't saying it. Coming up next on our list is Tinman. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I have no clue where the origin of this word is. A Tinman is something you'd call a skeleton, but I'm not sure if it's something done by the Holy Nation or the United Cities. I don't really know who created this word, but I've seen this used by the United Heroes League, along with other crazy things that they've said, of course. Tinman is pretty solid because robots get extremely offended by it. If you guys have seen my Becoming an AI Overlord series, you understand that Sadno is no fan of any variation of Tinman. I would say that most skeletons feel this way, but Tin Fist had to go and be special and name himself the way he did. I guess it's not really a bad thing to have Tin Fist, but it is to be a Tin Man? I'm not really sure, to be honest, but yeah, I would recommend using some caution when using the term Tin Man towards an actual robot. The second you do, you'll see why the Holy Nation fears them so much. Tin Man is good enough to make it to a B on this tier list, but if someone called it a C, I could also agree with that. Second to last on our list, we have Chumbo. What's unique about this one is that there are a few slurs in Kenshi that can really be used towards everyone. The origin of this one isn't from some type of grand discrimination between the races of Kenshi. This is a slur that all races can agree on. When your friend is being an idiot, you call him a chumbo. I kind of like using the word chumbo like the word bozo, and this one has made its way into my day-to-day speech. Imagine this, you're in an Airbnb with your friend Jamal, taking a vacation in the swamps. While Jamal is sleeping, you decide to go on a morning run. The swamps in the morning is absolutely beautiful, as long as you don't mind being chased by man-eating blood spiders. You end up getting sidetracked as you find a lost armory on your journey, and you end up doing some extra exploring. You're gone for about 5 or 6 hours, but when you get back, you find Jamal still sitting there on the couch eating food cubes. You talk to Jamal and say, "Bro, have you left the house? It's gorgeous out there." Jamal goes, "Nah, man. I couldn't figure out how to unlock the door." You respond, "You chumbo, there's only 3 keys on the key rack. Didn't you just try them all?" He responds, "Oh, my bad. I kinda stopped after the second one." Chumbo is a great term that I use in my everyday life, and so should you. So of course I'm giving Chumbo an A rating. And for our grand finale of all slurs, ladies and gentlemen, we have what you've all been waiting for. Beep. No, not beep like beep like the one that originates from the Hiver, Beep. Beep is a character in Kenshi and arguably one of the best characters in the game. Despite being so awesome, most of his dialogue consists of him just saying beep in different ways and manners. But you know, I'm all for it. I don't know what the hell beep means, but if Beep uses it, I want to as well. I like beep because I really think it can mean anything. Beep is kind of how like people from Philly say John. No one really knows what the hell a John is, but somehow when they say it, you know what they mean. So pretty much just like John, beep can mean anything. For instance, "Yo, them beeps you got look good. Hand me that beep on the counter." What the beep did you just say to me? Beep is arguably one of the best slurs you can say in Kenshi. It means a million different things and it has a ton of flexibility in how you can say it. Because of its awesome versatility, and of course, it was made by Beep, I'm giving Beep an S on the tier list. That concludes our Kenshi slur tier list. But if you want more Kenshi content like this one, check out my video that inspired this one, where I rank the most racist factions in Kenshi. Until then, I'll see you guys in the next video. Make sure to drop a like if you enjoyed the video, and I love you guys, and I'll see ya.